everybody doing out there? Thanks for tuning in to the Paulk radio show on this wonderful Thursday evening. Live in the studio, we got two great bodybuilders and a hizzy. Go ahead and,
I have BB Pro Big Mike Eli here, and with my brother from an Egyptian mother. I'll let him introduce himself.
This is Samuel Zarif, and I've been doing bodybuilding since I know Big Mike. It's been a great journey with this guy.
So we don't call Sam though. Sam's got a nickname. We call Sam the Pharaoh. That's Sam the Pharaoh Zarif.
Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh, yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I'm going to remember that one.
So we got King Solomon and the Pharaoh all in one spot with Big Mike.
Yeah. Three amigos.
Yeah.
Three kings.
Yes, three kings.
Three kings, yeah.
That's what's up, though, man. You know, I've been doing bodybuilding. I want to say I started working out when I was like, and as you can see, we jumping right into it.
Right.
But I started working out when I was like 11.
Yeah, it's a long time, brother.
Yeah, and I started getting size, but I didn't know anything about bodybuilding until
Right.
people started saying, "Man, you need to start competing." I was like, "Competing what?" You know, they
Yeah.
were like bodybuilding, and I was like around 16 around that time when I started competing,
Yeah.
and it was a gym called Black's Health World.
I remember Blacks and all around the rain, man.
Yep.
That's where all the top powerlifters in the world used to go there.
Yep. All the wrestlers used to go there when they come to town. So you see Junkyard Dog, Hulk Hogan, everybody
They
walking
all
around
used to
that
go to
gym.
Black's Health World when they were in town, yep.
So back then I had a sponsor, and I was doing pretty good, you know, but I noticed bodybuilding had a lot of politics in it.
It always, everything does,
Yeah.
man.
You know, I loved it, but I'm the type that I love eating all the time.
Right.
And that diet, and first of all,
That's the hardest part, man.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
so one thing I have learned to educate myself about the bodybuilding was, first of all, you gotta have good family genetics.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing.
Definitely.
Plus the hard work of working out and dieting. But it sounds like no matter how hard you do that, if them genetics not there,
No, you're right.
man, you gotta be real with yourself.
Well,
you
like
know?
Phil Heath said, he said, hard work beats talent unless talent works hard. So if you got two people working really hard, the genetically superior athlete's going to win every time.
Yeah.
You know, because that's God given. You know, shape, structure. You can't. You know, you can build muscle, and you can build a certain amount of muscle that your body will let you build. Everybody has different levels that they'll build. It depends on genetics. But one thing you cannot change is your structure that you're born with, the shape of the muscle.
Yep.
You know, that's God given. You know, and you get somebody, and they just genetically have those real round muscle bellies that are real round, like Phil Heath or Ronnie Coleman. They got that tiny waist and those small joints and the wide clavicles. You know, they're already 10 steps ahead of you when they start.
You're right.
I don't think bodybuilding is for everybody, though. You know,
It's not.
It's not.
Nope.
You know, you have to be, born for it. You know, you have to be, and the work, the hard work. This is another thing. You know, if you don't do the hard work, regardless of how much genetics that you have, you still have to do the hard work. You still have to do the diet. You know, you still have to do the whole 9 yards.
So I'll say bodybuilding is for everybody. Working out and building your body, that's for everybody. Competitive bodybuilding is definitely not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
So getting ready for shows and competing, that's for the select few. Because like you said, not only genetics, but it's the most disciplined sport in the world.
Yep.
Because you play any other sport, after practice you go home, you eat, you drink, you watch TV. You get ready for a bodybuilding show, you gotta eat your 7 meals on time, you gotta do your cardio, you gotta practice your posing, you gotta do the workout, you gotta prepare those meals. It really literally is 24/7. Then you gotta do all the other stuff to maintain your mobility, to avoid injuries. So you gotta go get massages, you got so many different, you gotta stretch, you gotta foam roll. So honestly, if you're getting ready for a show, that has to consume your life. If you've got other areas and other obstacles in your life, you're not gonna be able to do it properly because you have to have tunnel vision. That's gonna take up every second of your day.
Yep.
So, and even in the off season, as a pro bodybuilder, you gotta stay on top of everything. You can't say, okay, it's the off season, let me kick back. Because all these other guys are working. They're all putting into work. They're on top of their meals. They're on top of their workouts. They're getting enough sleep. They're drinking their water. They're doing everything they're supposed to be doing. So once they start their prep, they're going to be that much better. If you're not doing it, you're going to fall behind.
Yeah.
Now let's say somebody's a little bit genetically better than me, and they're doing all that stuff, and I'm not going to have a chance. The only way I'm going to beat a more genetically gifted athlete is to outwork them. You know, so, and even then, like you said, genetics play a lot. So if my genetics are close to somebody else, but his are better, I have to outwork them. I have to outdiscipline them. You know, when they want to go out, I got to go to bed because I got to get up and do my cardio. When they want to have a cheat meal, I got to eat my chicken, my rice, and my broccoli. You know, you got to do all the little things they don't to catch up to that. You know, because obviously, to be a professional bodybuilder, all professional bodybuilders have good genetics. And don't say, oh, he doesn't have good genetics. He might not have Phil Heath or Ronnie Coleman genetics, but anybody that turns pro in bodybuilding has way better genetics than the average person. Okay, now you got different levels of genetics at that level. Okay, that you have to compete against. So sometimes there's no way you're going to touch somebody, like a Derek Lunsford or a Phil Heath or a Ronnie Coleman. Your genetics are too good, and they have the work ethic and discipline. So you're not going to catch them. But what I always think about when it comes to genetics, the hardest, we know this, we all been around bodybuilding a long time, 40 years, whatever. The hardest time in bodybuilding history was in the 90s, okay? That's when you had 10 guys that could be Mr. Olympia. The most genetically gifted guys ever. You had Flex Wheeler, you had Kevin Levrone, you had Sean Ray, you had Nasser El-Sabate, you had Paul Dillette, you had Lee Priest, and you had Dorian Yates. And Dorian Yates had good genetics, but he didn't have the genetics of Flex Wheeler. He didn't have the genetics of Kevin Levrone. He beat the best genetically gifted bodybuilders of all time by outworking them.
You have Bertil Fox.
Bertil Fox, yeah, Bertil Fox.
Man.
He was a freak.
Yeah.
So that's where hard work did beat genetics, but he still had to have great genetics to beat those genetics.
Yeah, Bertil Fox was the first guy that I seen was that huge and chiseled.
Yeah, he was thick. Man.
I'm like,
he came just at the end of Arnold's time, heading into like Lee Haney's time, and nobody's seen a guy like that. He had those huge arms, that thick chest, and I was really surprised. I think it was maybe '83. I thought he should have won the Olympia, and he took like 5th. Because man, he went out there, he hit a front double, he hit a side chest. I'm like, holy shit. And that was about the time I just started getting into working out. I was young. Yeah, Bertil Fox was a freak.
Yeah.
He just got out of prison.
Yep. Because he was in there for a long time.
Yeah, he was. I'm surprised he got out, man.
Ooh. Well, I mean,
You know the story behind that?
Yeah.
When he first went in, I was like, oh no,
And nobody knows the real story behind it.
Right.
Because he got in a fight with his girlfriend's mother, and they said he killed them. But I think I heard there was like some self-defense behind it, so I don't know the whole story.
Right.
But I heard the girlfriend's mother had a gun, so we don't know, so I don't ever want to say somebody's guilty, not guilty.
Right.
But he did a lot of years. He just got out now, and he's like, I don't know, mid-70s. So.
The same thing happened to that other couple.
Craig Titus.
Yep.
He's still in prison. She's out of jail. He's still in prison. He just threw his life away, man.
Wow.
A lot of changes that happened to bodybuilders,
Yeah.
over the time,
Yeah. So Sam, how was it there begin Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Yes.
How old were you when you started bodybuilding?
Well, when I first started, I was in high school, but I didn't, I was in Egypt, I started for a little bit, it didn't last for more than a few months. I couldn't actually give the time that Mike was talking about, because of that discipline and how much time you have to spend, and I couldn't do it, at that time because I had another dream that I wanted to become a doctor, So I went to medical school back in Egypt, and that kind of like faded away. Then I came here to the States, and then about 2005, 6, this is when I know Big Mike from World Gym. It was the closest gym to my house, just go there. I wasn't going there just to become a pro, I just want to go there for just the gym,
Yeah.
And then every time I see Mike and I talk to him, I was like, hey Mike, how about a meal plan? How about, just give me some guidance for workout, And Mike is like, come on, man, you can do better than that, I can convert, you can become a pro, I was like, yeah, but, right now I'm just, just too young for that. He's like, too young, there's people when around that age, they start, So I started seriously. Then I mean, I have like when I do something, I like to be dedicated. I take it from just something like a hobby to the professional level. I like to be, just go straight to the core of it.
Yeah.
So I back in 2018, beginning of 2018, I was like, hey Mike, I think I'm ready to start. He's like, well, you think? I was like, yeah. And he didn't think I was serious, but 9 months after I started with him, I was on the stage.
Ooh,
So
9 months ago.
Yeah, we got him in shape fast.
Wow.
9 months, 9 months. He was on me all the time.
He was real disciplined.
I was.
I'm still on him all the time. I don't ease up on his ass.
Yeah.
I watch her. Dog, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah, we always have those arguments,
So
where's your water, Mike, just.
I'm gonna tell you a little more about that story. So I used to see Sam at the gym. He'd always be sitting at the table drinking coffee, getting ready to talk, getting ready for his workout. He'd be sitting there for about an hour or so drinking his coffee. So if I had a little break in between clients, I'd sit down and bullshit him with a little bit. He'd say, oh, can you make me a meal plan? I'd make him a meal plan. Hey, can you make me some workouts? I'd make him workouts. So this went on for years. Finally, he came one day, he said, hey, can you make me a meal plan? I go, Sam, why are you bullshitting me? I said, I've been making you meal plans for the last 6 years, and you don't follow them. I go, why are you bullshitting me? And I walked away. Then the next day, he goes, okay, I want you to train me. And then we started training, and we got on top of everything. Next thing you know, if you look at like his Instagram, my Instagram, you see his transformation. That was done fast. As soon as I started training him, we got him on a meal point. We planned. We stayed on point. His body changed instantly. He's been progressing it ever since.
It would have been actually faster if I had remember I had that shoulder injury.
Yeah.
So I had a shoulder injury. I had to take some cortisone shot on it, and that slowed me down for about 3 months,
You had to do it.
But
Well, we fixed it. I
we
showed him how to
fixed it,
fix it.
like we work around it, and like I said, it's just 9 months I was doing my first competition, Well, everybody was like, wow, that quick. People were like, but yeah, I followed the meal plan, and right now I did some competitions last year, or actually this year, and last year too. I was at a national level, so.
And he won he's Mr. Ohio. He won the Ohio State Championship, so he's Mr.
Congratulations.
Ohio.
That was just recently, right?
Yeah. That was just a couple months ago. I got the Mr. Ohio, the top bodybuilder for open.
Was that at Lakewood Civic Auditorium?
No, that was in Columbus.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to be at Lakewood. That's the Mr. Cleveland. I believe.
Right, that's Mr. Cleveland, yeah. He won Mr. Ohio, step above that. So.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a good win for him. So now we're going to train him next year for some bigger shows and try to give him that pro card we've been battling to get him for, and so that way he can get on stage with me.
You can do it.
All right.
Yeah, you look good, man.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But people that didn't know him before, they think he always looked like this. Look at his transformation. It's a hell of a
The
transformation.
transformation, it's actually
We'll pull it up for you later and show it to you if you want to put it on the air. But it was a hell of a transformation, man. He once he got serious, we got to work, and Sam's not just a client, that's my brother to me, we're good friends, but he ain't somebody I'm training once or twice a week. We train together every day,
6 days.
6 days a week
And
for the last 5 years.
And sometimes 7 days.
Sometimes 7 days,
Sometimes
yes.
7 days, including holidays. Christmas Day.
We work out on Christmas. Everybody's celebrating. Our celebrations wait. We gotta get our workout in first.
That's the dedication, buddy.
Because like when I was a teenager, everybody wanted to go to parties, they wanted to go there. Man, I was working out. When everybody was at the party, at the clubs, I was working out.
Right.
I was with everybody on the parties.
He was partying back then.
I was with everybody on the parties.
That's why he had that before picture. I always see the after picture, so.
Because like I say, I started when I was young. My first competition, I was 16 years old, and I only been in like maybe 2 teenage competitions. The rest of them, they were grown men.
Right.
My first competition, I took home a 5th place bronze medal. I went in the competition just to see what it's like for homework.
Right.
But I wound up bringing back a medal.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
awesome.
whoa,
Yeah, when you do all of that work, you go home with any kind of hardware. You get first place, second place. That doesn't matter. But you feel good. This is your reward. For the hard work that you've been doing all over. The discipline, the dieting. The going to the gym faithfully. Some people they don't know. No, I want just the first place, like somebody I know in this room over here. I'm not gonna point any fingers, but anything beside the first place, as a loser, But for me, no, it's everything is winner, because you basically, when you look at it, yes, we are competing. There are some people also they have better genetics. You know, there are some people they have, you know, have easier life. You know, like you know, like Mike was saying, you know, you know, you have to do a lot of things. You know, between that cardio, massages. You know, you have to take care of your body to the point that sometimes, you know, I have to take off work. You know, like I have to literally to take off work or reduce my amount of work. You know, so I can be able to do all of that. You know, but there is some, you know, it's still good whatever you're doing. You know, yes, it's not. I mean, we all want to get that first place. You know, but again, if you get second or third place, you know, there is a room for you to advance. You know, and I never take it like any personal, or I never take it, you know, like any politicians, because you know what, if you're there, you're there. If somebody's popping, you know, there is no politics. They cannot just go ahead and wash you out of politics. You know,
If it's close, they can.
if they close.
So I
yes.
always tell people when people complain to me, clients like, man, I got messed up. They use politics. That guy should have beat me. Here's my answer to them. You have to become so good that they can't beat you with the politics.
Yep.
Because if it's close, they can beat you with politics. If it's close, they can give it to the other guy. But if you're so much better that they can't, that's the way you do it. You got to be so much better they can't give it to you with the politics. That's what you got to do.
Because I remember one time, and it also depends on what you put in your body. Because I remember one time for prejudging, they was like, this person beat you out. But for the finals, I'm gonna tell you what I did with the finals. I went to Wendy's.
Yeah.
I went to the salad bar. I got no more fruit.
So that sugar filled you up.
Man, they was like, what did you do? They was like, when you came back, you looked super. What did you do?
That's
They was
sugar.
like, you beat this guy out in the finals.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like I said, that was 100 years ago. But
Well, back then they used to judge the prejudging in the finals. Now at the amateur shows, they don't judge the finals.
No,
All the judging is at the prejudging. The only thing they judge at the finals is the overall winner.
Yep.
So all the class winners,
things done changed. now.
yeah,
that's- that's been changed, yeah.
all the class, except at the pro level. At my level, they judge the finals. But at the amateur level, they don't judge the finals. They only all the judging is at the prejudging. You have your winners after prejudging, and at the finals, the only thing they're judging, they take each class winner and they judge it for the overall.
But again, Mike, you know, sometimes they do, because
If it's real close,
if
sometimes they'll rejudge
yeah,
it.
if they rejudge it, sometimes, you know, if somebody
It's
comes
very,
in, like,
it's
really,
very rare, but sometimes there's been a few times where I've seen them
They
they'll call them back out,
they
and
move people around.
they'll recompare them because it was that close, but that's very rare.
or somebody like what you did, you know, you went there and you get more fuller, you know, and you start
Yeah.
popping, you know.
Generally, it's too late though.
Yeah, it was too late, but still, they was like, man, what did you do? You look so great out there. Man, it was crazy, man. But you know, like I say, I'm true to myself. I knew bodybuilding wasn't for me. Powerlifting was for me.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, I love eating. I didn't like that dieting, but I love throwing heavy
You know,
weight
you look at
around.
heavyweights and eat.
You know, and I was just strong.
Well, you know, I started as a powerlifter, Solomon. You know,
Yeah.
then I did both, and then I switched strictly to bodybuilding. Because I like moving to heavyweight too, but then, you know, eventually your joints start to get beat up,
Yep,
you know,
yep,
you
yep.
just you gotta find a different direction.
Yep.
You know, because back in our day, that's the way we trained. We trained hard. We banged heavy weight every workout.
Right.
You know, that's the way Ronnie Coleman was doing it. That's the
Yeah.
way, you know, they were all doing it. So that's what we were doing. Now, years later, you realize, okay, you can't move that heavy weight all the time. 'Cause, man, your shoulders get tore up, your knees,
I
your
knew
back.
better. I knew better though, because look, I was like just playing with 315 pounds on the incline, like 20 reps.
Right.
You know, and they're just doing dips with like 45 plates with the chain. Man, I was a beast back then.
And that's a rush, man. It's a rush, but the body starts to break down.
Yeah.
It's not the muscles that break down, it's our joints.
The joints.
You know, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, you know, all that starts to
I'll
break
pay
down.
for it. I'll pay
Yeah,
for it.
we all are.
Well, these days, you know, we learned one thing, you know, it's not working harder, it's working smarter, you know. So work around that.
Right, so,
work around the muscles.
so now, you know, the way more of the pro bodybuilders train now, and actually the way I train to keep me in the game, you lift heavy, but it's relatively heavy, okay? Now it's more time under tension, controlled, slow reps, squeezing the muscle, contracting and feeling it. So you're not gonna use the same weight you would when you're just exploding it,
Right.
but you're gonna get a great workout. You're not gonna beat your joints up, and actually you'll get a better pump and you get a little more development out of it, because instead of just moving weight, you're using and contracting the muscle, and you get that mind-muscle connection together. So everything evolves in life. Everything evolves and gets better. Training evolved and got better over the years. You know, so the way we trained 30 years ago, it's a lot more intelligent now.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like I said, it's more volume, more time under tension, mind-muscle connection, feeling the muscle. You don't get beat up. You get a better contraction, and you get more. You get better development on better separation, better shape.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't know that 30 years ago.
Right, right.
We didn't know that. We just, You know, we see Ronnie banging the heavyweight, we bang the heavyweight.
So let everybody know how, the people that's watching, let everybody know how, because people get shoulder injuries all the time. Not even just working out, just
Right.
at work, doing stuff. So what little bitty fatigue exercise they can do for the strength of the shoulder back up, the rotating cuffs?
There's a few things involved. Okay, most shoulder injuries are caused by a shoulder imbalance. What happens is we're all doing heavy bench presses, everything else, so your front delts, your anterior delts get really developed. Now what's underdeveloped is your posterior delts. So you have a shoulder imbalance. Whenever there's an imbalance in your body, you're at risk for injury. So any people that are working out, make sure you work those posterior, those rear delts just as hard as you work those front delts so your shoulders are evenly developed and you don't get the injury. Now if you do get an injury, or even if you want to prevent injuries, there's a lot of different movements to take care of those rotator cuffs, keep them healthy. And we do it a few times a week, even when our shoulders are feeling good.
Exactly.
We got a maintenance routine we do where we keep those shoulders healthy. And explaining the exercises, I'd rather, I'll post something on my page. If somebody wants to see it, I'll post it on my story. I'll post a whole routine to do to keep your shoulders healthy, for your rotator cuffs, for your joints, make them feel good. So we do a few different movements we do and to make it work. First, like we'll lay on our stomach with some real light weights, do 30 I's, 30 Y's, 30 T's. Okay, that way you start getting some blood to that rotator cuff. And then we stand up, take some light dumbbells, straight overhead like that, 30 reps, straight over, up and down, 30 reps, do a few sets of that. All right, then you take some light dumbbells, point your thumbs towards the ground, and just almost like you're doing a side lateral raise, but it's like in the middle of a side lateral raise and front lateral raise. You're doing in between the two like this with the thumbs pointed down. That's gonna hit that supraspinatus, directly hit that rotator cuff and get it strong. Do it real slow, 30 reps. Okay,
Real lightweight.
Yes, real. When you're trying to get those rotator cuffs strong, lightweight, high reps. Heavyweight's just gonna hurt that rotator cuff. You got 3 small muscles in there you gotta strengthen.
And adding to whatever Mike was saying, about the posterior, delt, when you think about it, you're in front of the mirror, you're doing your exercise, you're not seeing your back, So basically, like automatically, everybody is work out with their eyes, they work over here, they don't see their back, and that's why a lot of people, they do that mistake, they just work their front more than their back, Although there's a lot of exercises that can strengthen your posterior, that to make that balance, to give the shoulder, the front and back support. So
some shoulder days we won't even work the front delts because they can. On chest day, your front delts can work. Whenever you work chest, next day you hit that front shoulder, man, it's sore because every pressing movement hits your anterior delt. Now that posterior delt and the medial delt, they don't get as much work. So yeah, we do front delt work in our shoulder days. Some days we don't. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we just do all side and rears and blow them up because the fronts are still sore from chest day.
Maybe we're gonna add 1 or 2, front delts, to our workout, but when shoulder day, like Mike said, back and sides.
I do a lot of bent over side.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are awesome. Those are awesome for that too.
You'll notice sometimes you'll see somebody with a shoulder imbalance because they're hunched forward. When they're hunched forward, overdeveloped anterior delts, underdeveloped rear delts. You start working those rear delts, you'll see those shoulders come back as they start to develop.
Yeah. So so it's a competition, when it's time for you to place, see what place you come in.
Right.
Don't you get them butterflies, like?
Oh yeah. Even if you think you want it, you get the butterflies, So it's like, man, I remember when I won nationals, I turned pro. And I had one of the judges send me a message because his wife was having a baby. He's like, I gotta go, I'm not gonna be there for the finals. He goes, I would say good luck, but I don't think you need it. He was like telling me basically I won, right? Yeah. And so I even knew it, but even when I'm in line, I'm waiting for the placings, they announce 5th place. I'm like, oh good, I'm at least 4th. They announce 4th, okay good, I'm at least 3rd. Then they're down to, and then they're gonna count 2nd and 1st, and I'm like just waiting, butterflies are going, so you just, until it's announced, yeah, it's crazy.
It goes the same thing here, when they do the first call out, and you do the second call out, if you don't get the first call out, then they're like, better walk out.
But I remember the night I turned pro when I won nationals, and as soon as they called my name in 1st place, and they said, he called me in 1st place, and they said, new IFBB pro, I started crying like a baby. I'm not gonna lie, man. Them tears started coming down because I worked my whole life for that, and then just hit it,
Yeah.
And then the lady that was passing out the awards happened to be an old client of mine from years ago, so she's handing me my award. I just grabbed her and hugged her, and there's a picture on my Instagram, you see it, and I'm just crying because, man, it's like, everything I worked my whole life for, my dreams just came true that night, that one moment.
Wow. And most people that I see when they same thing, them tears, man. And I get it, you know.
That's the hard work, man.
I put
That's the hard work.
years of my life into that goal. You know, that's years and years of hard work. And I remember that prep. You know, that prep, I was so focused, and I knew I was the underdog. You know, when I turned pro, I beat John Meadows. You guys know who John Meadows is. John Meadows is a legend. You know, he just passed away, rest in peace, last year. But the whole leading up to the show, Muscular Development was doing videos on John Meadows saying this is our favorite to win the show. Nobody's gonna touch him. You know, and then so everybody was thinking John Meadows. I wasn't even in nobody's radar, but I knew in my mind every night before I went to bed, I imagined myself winning it. I imagined myself being the medal being put around my neck, and me getting first place. And man, I was tired. I got on that treadmill. I just thought about it. I just kept going. Heart was pushing me through. You know, so when it came down to it, and they did the call outs, and the first call out they put John Meadows in the middle. I was in the first call out, but they had me on the end. You know, I just kept posing. Like, I know they're gonna move me over. So I angled myself towards the judges. I hit my poses. They moved me over one spot. I angled myself towards the judges, hit my poses, moved me out another spot. Then we hit another round of poses. They moved John out the middle. They put me in the middle. I was like, hell yeah! I knew I had it then.
Wow. Yeah, I got a couple of first place, but in my mind, I was always like, okay, they here to see me. Everybody came here to see me. You gotta psych yourself up like that. You know?
Right.
They can't, especially when it comes to the pose down.
Yep.
Woo! That pose down boy was something else, man.
Yeah.
That take me back for that takes me back.
When I go on stage, I basically when I pose like Mike, like hey, listen, the only person I actually tend to see and hear is my coach. I'm listening to my coach just in case if I'm missing something, but when I'm posing for I got this. This is my first place, There is no questions. I'm gonna get, and it's not the ego, It's just basically
You gotta have confidence.
you have that confidence in you, and you're like, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been training for, So yeah, everybody's competing for the first place, And like I said earlier, it doesn't matter if you get second place or not, but it's your limitation. Everybody's
It matters.
Well, yes, it does. But it doesn't matter that much, because what you do.
Matters a lot.
But that's what we do, and this is basically I mean, I agree to a certain point, but you need to look around and you need to see, you need to see why you didn't get the first place. That's the first question, But in the meantime, you have to do everything to get the first place.
Here's the thing, if you didn't do everything you needed to do. And if you didn't do that, you're not going to have a chance at first place. You get there, you didn't do everything you need to do, and you're trying to pull these tricks to get yourself ready, and you look next to you this way, you look next to you that way, you're like, oh shit, I should have did this, I should have done that. But when you put it all on the line, and you busted your ass, and you got up early in the morning, did your cardio, you were on top of your meals, you went to bed early, you practiced your posing, you killed your workouts, even when you were dead tired, your body fat was in single digits, and you're struggling, and you push through, and you hit that stage, then it really doesn't matter where you place because you laid it all on the line. So yes, I agree with Sam. You want to win.
Right.
But you hit that stage with a feeling of accomplishment, knowing, you know what? I put it all on the line. I left it all on that gym floor, and I'm here 100% ready. If somebody's better than me, God bless them because I did it all. And that's when you got the attitude. I want to win, but I know I did everything I can to win. Then you're okay with it.
Well, let me tell you a story about waking up early and doing the cardio. So this guy going to Mr. Olympia, Mike, so doing there, and I flew to support him over there. I was with him, and we stayed together in the same apartment, every single day, 5 o'clock in the morning. He wakes my ass up.
We're 1,000 miles away in Romania.
He wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, let's go do some cardio, buddy. I was like, Mike, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I don't have any. Well, let's do it. It's now. All right, So we do fasted cardio. We go walk in the street, for about an hour.
At 5 in the morning, we're on the streets of Romania, walking, running hills,
We
and
don't
doing
know
everything.
Romanian. We don't know nobody. But
The streets are empty. We hear dogs barking.
That's it. We walk our way, for an hour, and we come back home. We just have breakfast, lay down for a little bit, and then we wake up again. We just go hit the gym. It's just the same thing that we do over here. It doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what part of the world you are. If you have a goal, and this is the hard work, and this is discipline, that's what you do for us.
And I'll tell you what, it sounds good to everybody listening. Oh yeah, I can do that. But when you're doing it, you're in the middle of it. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Because it's not just the food you give up during the diet. Yeah, obviously that takes a lot of discipline. But man, you put a lot of work into this, and you're tired. You're tired as hell. You know, your body fat starts dipping really low into single digits.
So I get grumpy sometimes.
Oh yeah, horrible.
Not all the time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The blood sugar starts dropping. You get irritable. You know, so like for the Mr. Olympia, I got my body fat checked. It was 2.3%. That's low, and I had that. I was down that low about 4 weeks out, so I had to hold that for 4 weeks. You know, so you feel like death. You have no energy.
And you're still working
tired,
on top of that.
and you have to find a way to do it because your carbs are low, your body fat's low, and you just feel like doing nothing but going to sleep. But you got to find a way to do it. You know, what's going to push you through? That's where a lot of people. That's what separates the people that are going to become champions and that won't. The people that aren't going to become champions will take themselves to a certain point, then they back off because they can't do it. It's too hard for them. Because it is the hardest thing you'll ever do, to push through those last few weeks when your body's super lean and you're super tired and you go, it's not all hard. You know, you get your ass up, you're like, man. And you get out there, you start doing your cardio, and then you get it done. Then I remember, like, when Sam and I were training, he's getting ready for the Ohio, and I'm getting ready for the Mr. Olympia. Him and I would be sitting there before the workout, get ready to start. We're both looking at each other like, how the hell are we going to work out? We're sitting there with our shoulders slumped down, faces all sunken in because we're so lean. Like, man, we got to get this workout. After a couple sets in, we're screaming at each other, come on, 5 more. You know, everybody's looking at us like, where the hell these guys get this from?
It's just the support.
You know, we're doing hack squats, doing drop sets. Then as soon as we're done, we're back sitting down like this.
We dragging out of the gym, you know, most of the time.
But all I can tell you is, like, how do you do it? I'm like, the only thing I can tell you is the last few weeks, it's hard. You ain't physically, mentally, you ain't got it. It's gone. Mentally, you can't even think. When your body fat's that low, your carbs are that low, I passed my house going home. I passed it up 3 times, circled around the block, because mentally I just wasn't there, you know. And then physically, you got no energy. And so what gets you through? What gets you to push? You don't have enough carbs to push. Where are you pushing from? Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
Too many times I have to go, like, probably like 11 o'clock, midnight. I have to go to the gym to do my second cardio. I have to do fasted cardio in the morning, but because of the nature of my job, you know, and the business I have and stuff like that, you know, so I don't have time, but I create the time, you know. It doesn't matter what time I have to do. As long as I do my fasted in the morning, then I have to do my second one. Then when I start, I'm looking at it like, oh my God, I have an hour cardio to do. The very first 10 minutes is just like,
It's hell.
it's basically like you
you
just wanna jump off the cliff, you know, just, you know what, I mean, what the heck am I doing, you know? And then he's like, okay, you know what, it's been 10 minutes, you know, that's okay. I have to go through this. Then 20 minutes, like, hey, I got 1/3, you know, and then the last 10 minutes is just like you dragging, and it's like, you're looking at the clock and it's like, oh my God, it's 52 minutes. Oh my God, it's been 52 minutes for the past 3 hours, you know, and this is how it feels, you know, but once you do it, you feel great. This is what you do, everything above and beyond, you know, and when you be on stage at that time, you say, you know, you did everything that you can do.
You know, when Sam and when I first started training him, he's like, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this with this and this? And I would say, Sam, I'm going to tell you one thing about anything in life. And I said, you know this because you're a very intelligent man. If you want something bad enough, you find a way to do it. You find a way. If you don't want it bad enough, you can find 20 excuses. And everybody will say, yeah, you're right, you can't do that. You got this going on, you can't do it. Everybody will agree with you that you can't do it because it sounds really hard. But people that want it bad enough, how many times you do cardio on 2 hours sleep? How many times you come to do a leg workout on 2 hours sleep?
Almost every day.
You want it bad enough, you find a way to push through it. If you don't want it bad enough, you'll find a good excuse. And that's anything in life.
So for example, the nature of my job, I work nights, you know. I monitor patients all night long, you know, for sleep apnea, you know. I finish my work about 8, 9 in the morning. By the time I go to bed, it's about 10 o'clock. I run to the gym, 1:30, I be there and start working out, you know. I run 2 hours sleep, I wake up, I get my breakfast, you know. If I have to do cardio, I do cardio before that, you know. I take my breakfast, I'm at the gym at 1:30.
Wow.
Every single day. I go home and sleep for another hour and get ready again for my job in the afternoon.
You know, he'd come in, you know, we're both prepping, we're both tired. We push each other. Like on the days he didn't have it, I'm like, come on, Sam, I'd push him through. You know, and he'd look at me during the workout like he hates my fucking guts. But then when he's done with the workout, he's like, brother, thanks for pushing me. Next day, I'm dragging. He's like, come on, brother, we got this, come on. He pushes me. Afterwards, I'm like, thanks, Sam, man, I didn't have that, man, you pushed me through, you know? So we push each other through. So one of us is down, the other one picks the other one up.
So where you from, is it a lot of, you know, big bodybuilding over there?
You're talking about Nasser Sumbati, he just mentioned about that, you know, he was in the 90s. Big Ramy, he got Mr. Olympia 2 years back to back.
Okay.
It's the Middle East, you know.
The Middle East bodybuilders superstars there. Like Michael Jordan is here, LeBron James is here. That's bodybuilding in the Middle East.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, you go to the Middle East, and Big Ramy, they got streets named after him. They got his picture on the buses. Here, nobody even knows who Derek Lunsford is or Jay Cutler. It's like, everybody knows football. They know basketball. Their bodybuilding are heroes. They're superstars. You go in the Middle East, they treat you like you're royalty. That's why a lot of, even like the pros in the U.S. are going to like Dubai and other areas because, man, they're treated so good there. They get sponsors that pay them a lot of money. And bodybuilding's huge in the Middle East. Huge. Bigger than it is here as far as like fan support. You're a pro bodybuilder in the Middle East. You're a superstar, just like LeBron James is here.
Yeah, and it's basically like when you go to the airport, in any airport, you go into the country and they see that you're a bodybuilder and they see your shape, they wouldn't give you any help. They would give you no problems because they know that you're disciplined.
Like in Iraq.
They got called back.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the callers are calling in.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all want to call in, phone number is 216-939-5087.
We love to answer any questions, man. Call on in, man.
Yeah, phone lines is open. Yeah.
So, anyways, like Hadi Chupon was Mr. Olympia last year. He's from Iraq, okay? Iran, they got a 40-foot statue of him, super detailed, in the middle of downtown, because he's their superstar. So they treat the bodybuilders real good over there. I wish we had more love like that over here for bodybuilding. Here they look at us like, you freak, There's people that are into it, but there's so many people that are not into it.
Yeah. They look at it in a different way, but over there, they know that, like I said, if you walk into the airport, they give you that respect, because they know that you're a disciplined person. You're far away from trouble. You're not going to go there causing any problems,
Right.
You're just working, you're focusing on one thing and one person only as yourself.
We have
So you're not going to be having any, problems with that.
Oh, I thought you said we had one. Okay.
Well, it was, they hung up. Yeah.
Again, anybody wants to call in, they have a question for me, Solomon, or Sam, about bodybuilding, about working out, about anything, give us a call. We'd love to answer your questions.
Yeah. Don't be shy. You can do it. Well, yeah, man, so how old was you when you started?
I started working out at 14. You said you started working out at 11. But back then I started competing in powerlifting first.
Okay.
Because, man, I was really strong. I was in high school and, benching over 400 pounds, and all these other kids couldn't do 200, So I started competing in powerlifting first. But I love bodybuilding. So I was basically, back then, I competed in powerlifting, but I trained like a bodybuilder. And every magazine I read was a bodybuilding magazine, Then later on, like in my early 20s, I started competing in bodybuilding. And then I had a kid, so I put that on hold for a while. I was in a marriage. It was kind of a bad marriage. So all that was put on hold. Then after I got divorced, I started competing again.
Okay.
Because I had more time, and I had, more time to focus and everything else. And life kind of aligned a lot better for me. I was in a better place. And back then, there was no coaches. You didn't have a coach. You just figured things out. What we did was we read the magazines. We talked to the other big guys in the gym. We tried to figure it out. It ain't like now where there's so much more knowledge. You got coaches. You got information on how to diet, how to pose. Back then, man, we guessed. We didn't know.
Unless you buy that book that Arnold had wrote.
And even that was, it's so outdated now, compared to, so we kind of guessed back then. We didn't have the knowledge we had then. We figured it out and we looked good. But, man, as it got later on into, like when I started competing, I was competing like the mid-2000s, well, then you had a lot more knowledge, Then, then if you go to like 2010, 2011, that's when you had some really good coaches. You had the internet, you have everything else where you can learn more on how to diet properly, how to adjust your carbs, your proteins, your fats, which ones were best, which ones weren't. We learned a lot more about that. And even like I said, training, how to train more intelligently. There became a lot more knowledge on that. But back in the 80s, man, we didn't know shit.
I remember, speaking about that book Arnold wrote, I remember reading when he was saying...
Encyclopedia Bodybuilding.
I remember he was talking about, just like we were just talking about, going through the airport or whatever, everybody respects you, this and that. So, it was an incident one time when he was like, this guy came up off the street, everybody in the gym working out. Arnold, Franco Colombo, they all in there working out. This knucklehead, they say he walked in off the street trying to rob the gym.
Wrong place to rob.
Wrong. It was bad.
Oh boy.
Man, they beat the brakes off that dude. I'm like, why would you walk in the gym with a bunch of silverbacks in there?
How great would it be to go back in time and be there in that time period like us now back at that time period, man? That'd be amazing.
Man, that'd be amazing. What I don't understand how these guys is working out barefoot in the gym, doing everything, squatting.
Yeah. Arnold always worked out barefoot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine if one of them things fell on your foot?
So, growing up, obviously we all had the bodybuilders we looked up to. And one of the ones I looked up to was Tom Platz.
Tom Platt.
And now Tom's one of my good friends. We talk all the time, we text all the time. He tells me about the old days and stuff they did, man. It was crazy.
Shout out to Tom.
Yeah, hey Tom. Hope all doing well, brother. We're gonna talk to you soon. Come see you soon. But Tom still looks great. Tom's almost 70, man. He's still got crazy legs. He's still working out.
Yeah, I remember that picture I took with him up
Yeah.
here. Yeah. Wow. That dude had to.
Yeah, I just talked to Tom.
They call him Quadzilla, for
Yeah,
the biggest
yeah.
the biggest quads,
So, he was 40 years ahead of his time with those legs, man.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
talked to him, probably a few weeks ago. He sent me some messages, sent me some videos from the old days when he was, posing in the gym and stuff. He's like, that was every day at Gold's Gym. I missed those times. Like, yeah, those look like great times, man.
I
You know.
remember, man. I used to do everything people say you can't do.
Right.
I used to squat almost every other day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my legs had got so big I couldn't wear pants. I only could wear sweats.
Right. Tom's workouts were so crazy. And I asked him, I said, Tom, how the hell did you do those workouts? You ever watch his workouts? They're insane.
Until he throw up.
And he's like, well, as hard as I worked out, I recovered just as hard. He's like, so you see that workout I did, and I killed myself because the whole next day I didn't get off the couch. Next 2 days, he didn't get off the couch.
It paid off though.
Yeah. Well, he had a niche when nobody else did. Nobody was making money with bodybuilding at that time. And he was making in 1980, he made over $1 million, 80 and 81, in those years, guest posing overseas. Because everybody wanted to see those freaky legs.
Mm-hmm.
So they were paying him big money to come over there, and like I said, obviously it's not the U.S. All these other countries that pay the money to see the bodybuilders, and he, that's some serious money back in 1980, making $1 million bodybuilding, just doing some guest posing, and he did, and he told me a story. I think I told you a story before, because everybody always talks about where Tom would go like this to his leg and then stomp it and flex, and everybody go crazy. And he said the way that came about, he was guest posing in Germany, and some stuff fell from the ceiling and hit his leg. And he brushed it off and then flexed his leg. Everybody thought he was going down to flex his leg. Everybody started screaming and then going crazy. So then he started doing that all the time. He'd go like this and then flex his leg. But that all happened because some lint fell on his leg. He brushed it off and flexed it.
Hey, you know what? And I see other bodybuilders doing that
I was
trade.
gonna say, that. I've seen that. I've seen Ronnie Coleman was doing it.
Ronnie can do it. Right.
Ronnie, who was competing was Phil. But also Phil, I've seen Phil doing it too.
Branch does it. So you gotta have great legs to do that. Like I'll get some clients sometimes. I'm getting ready for a show and they're showing me
Like you said, Lee Priest.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'll get some clients. I'm getting ready for a show and they're showing me the posing routine. They'll do that. I'm like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, why can't you do that? I go,
You don't have
no.
legs, you know what I mean?
Even if you got legs, your legs better be insane to do that. And the judges will get pissed at you unless you have legs like a Tom Platz. You don't do that, okay?
Right.
That's saved for the top pros. They hate when the amateurs do stuff like that. It's like you haven't earned the spot to do that yet, okay? Kind of like the pose Sergio used to. Sergio would go like this.
Yep.
The only ever person I ever see hit that pose was Lee Priest, because nobody else felt like they earned that pose. That was Sergio's pose. He nailed that pose. You don't go doing Sergio's pose unless you can match him in it.
Yep.
That's the same thing with that. You don't go flicking the leg and doing that and stomping it unless you can come close to matching Tom in that. And there's only a few people that have. You see Jay Cutler do it. You see Ronnie do it. But otherwise, you don't stomp that leg. You don't flick that leg. You don't shake that leg. You just get your poses humbly. You don't show that kind of arrogance against the legends that did it. That's their pose.
Mm-hmm. You know who was like he hung with the big dogs, but he was the leanest bodybuilder? Frank Zane.
Different time period, man. That's a different time period.
But he was hanging with the big
He
dogs.
was.
though,
And
you
he was
know?
only 185, 190 pounds because he was one of the first guys to bring aesthetics and conditioning. And he wouldn't hang nowadays. Nowadays
You're right.
everybody's conditioned, and those guys are out muscling by 67 pounds.
It's like Arnold wouldn't hang now.
Right.
To
But back then, he was one of the first guys to bring aesthetics to bodybuilding, because they all had some aesthetics, but he first off, he was a masterful posing. His posing was great.
Yep.
He knew how to display what he had and made it look better. He knew how to get under those lights and make himself appear larger, too. And he brought really good conditioning.
him and Muhammad.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, yeah.
Yep.
Those guys, so they were small guys that made themselves appear larger, and because their aesthetics, their proportions, their symmetry, their shape, and their conditioning. And nowadays, shit, Frank Zane wouldn't even be physique. You know, the physique guys are bigger. You know, but back then, there wasn't a lot of huge bodybuilders. Okay, they used to do two things. They had at Olympia, they had an over 200-pound class, under 200-pound class. Nowadays, there ain't nobody, and then they would all. So one would do the over 200. You know, you have your group would do over 200 or under 200. They do overall at the end for Mr. Olympia. They don't do that now, obviously, because there is no way a 180-pound guy is going to go next to a big Rami who's 300 pounds and just disappear. So, I mean, like I said, the sport evolved. But Frank Zane is still one of the classic best physiques you'll ever see. You know, if you want to have a physique to like walk around the beach with, that's the physique right there.
Yeah. I know Linda Murray was a beast.
Oh, Linda Murray, she's classy looking too, man. She's still gorgeous. You know, Linda's got to be in her 60s. She's still very good looking, classy, has good line.
Wow.
So,
Yep.
All right. Thanks for calling the Solid Park Radio Show. Who's on the line? Hello, who's on the line?
Doing? Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Solomon. How you been, brother?
Pretty good. Who's calling?
Hey, man, I just wanted to go ahead and make a comment and ask your guys' guest a question, man. I wanted to let you know, man, your beard game is strong, brother. I appreciate that beard, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Beard
it.
game is strong, man. But look, man, I got a question for your guest, man. So, Big Mike and Sam, when you two are in the gym and you're looking in the mirror, and whether you're posing or just swole up having a good time, who's the best looking dude in the gym?
Well, we already know the answer to that.
The rumor going around is when you guys are at the gym, Mike comes in second and Sam comes in third.
I think you're right. I think if there's the two of us, neither of us win.
Yeah, and I think it's somebody's Johnny, I think, with that.
I think John Dix is the best looking guy in the gym.
There you go.
John Dixon from Grafton Barbell, man, over in Grafton, Ohio. That's the best looking guy in the gym.
How we doing, fellas?
Good, Johnny. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm just calling to bust some balls, man. I'm listening, man. Y'all have a good time, man. Love the show, Solomon, man. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Again, that was our good friend Johnny Dixon. He owns Grafton Barbell over in Grafton, Ohio. Great spot. If you're ever out in that area, check out his gym. If you live out in that area, go join us 24 hours. John's one of the best dudes you'll ever meet. Been a friend of mine for over 20 years. Been a friend of Sam's. Like I said, if you're ever in that area, or if you live in that area, go check out his gym, Grafton Barbell.
Best gym in the area, man. You know, I always go there. This is when I do my cardio late. They have tanning beds over there. They have a lot to do. You know, the gym is huge. It's good. It's a great gym. It's a great gym.
Tanning beds.
They have
They got everything.
You know,
Like I said, John's a good dude, man. That's a good place to go. He'll treat you right. He'll take good care of you. You tell him you're a friend of me and Sam, he'll hook you guys up.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Always, man. Hey, man, appreciate the love. Appreciate the plug, fellas. Solomon, love the show, man. Good luck, brother. Have a good holiday, man.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, John, for
All
calling.
right, fellas. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, man. That tanning is very important because it's a lot of. It helps, from that light beaming on you like that.
Right.
You don't look like.
Let me tell you, because I've been doing tanning, all before my shows, Mike always instruct me to do it, and he's very good at it, and it helps me a lot for the skin tightening, because when you lose fat, when you lose the fat around the waist, usually the skin start to wrinkle a little bit, and
Yeah.
so that tanning, when I do the tanning bit like 3 times a week or 4 times a week, whatever I have time I go, it helps my skin, to get tighter. Also, it gives me the color that I want,
Mhm.
So that helps a lot when I go for competing. I don't have,
I've seen people lose shows because their tan wasn't good. And when he's talking about skin tightening, that's a little secret that Sam just told everybody that we don't tell everybody. But honestly, I learned that. You guys know who George Fair is. That's Dexter Jackson's coach.
Yeah.
And he told me, if you got some areas with loose skin or you're trying to get your skin a little thinner, he said go tanning, and it'll tighten that skin up. And especially a little trick I have, I'll get the trick away now. If you got an area with a little bit of loose skin, you get ready for a show,
Now
get some preparation H.
There you go.
Put it on that spot, go in a tanning bed, and the heat will pull the water out that skin and pull it tight. And that's a little trick I just gave you guys, a little
So,
industry trick that a lot of people know about.
I gave them half of the secret, you know.
I
Mike just
gave
have
it
to
all.
give them the
I
whole
gave it
secret,
all.
you know what I'm
So
saying?
that's a little trick.
You know.
Then when it comes to color, even black people get tan before a show.
Yeah.
Because you need your skin color even. Okay, and nobody has even skin color, so that tan evens the color out. And when you're under those super bright lights, if you don't have a good tan, you'll get washed out. They won't be able to see your definition.
Exactly.
And the reason they put you under those bright lights is so they can see every flaw and imperfection in your physique. The bright lights don't make you look better, they show your flaws. Okay, so the darker your tan, the less flaws you'll see and the more definition you'll see. So like I said, even if I was getting you ready for a show, I would give you a spray tan before you went on stage because it makes your skin color even, so those lights hit it just right.
I remember them lights, man. You be hot.
Oh, hot as hell.
Ooh,
Yeah,
man.
the more coats you get, the worse it's gonna get in your body because there's a lot of people that are like very pale, they're very white, you know, their skin doesn't take the tan, you know.
Right.
That's why I tell all my competitors, even if I'm gonna spray tan you, go tanning ahead of time, get your skin prepared for it. You gotta get your skin prepared for it. You know, so that way, like when I spray tan Sam before a show, I only gotta give him one coat. He's already got a good base. If you have a good base, it's gonna take a lot better. If you're white as hell and I gotta keep spraying you, just like painting a wall. It takes coat after coat. It might run a little bit when you get under those lights we were just talking about, those bright lights. That you start sweating, that tan will start running. So you gotta have a good base for that. So I'm very detail oriented when it comes to my people getting on stage. And every detail can make the difference. We were just talking about genetics. If it's close on stage, something like a tan can make a difference. It's all about whatever looks best to the eye. That's what bodybuilding is. Whatever it looks, you're putting yourself in front of 9 judges based on their opinion of whatever looks best to their eyes. And something like a good tan under those lights, a nice even good tan, is going to make you look better. If you got somebody with a bad tan, somebody with a good tan, they're pretty even. Your eyes are going, which one looks better? That one for some reason looks better to me. Well, that's why. You know, because people say, oh, well, bodybuilding is not a beauty contest. Well, yeah, it is. It's a muscle beauty contest.
Exactly.
You know, it's whatever looks best to those eyes.
So we're let everybody know your platform where y'all can be reached at.
All right, so we do our training out of 2 spots. We just talked about Johnny at Grafton Barbell and Old School Iron over at Brook Park. Both great spots. Shout out to TJ at Old School Iron. Shout out to John Dixon at Grafton Barbell. That's where you'll find us at, either one of those spots. You can reach me. You can check out my Facebook. It's Big Mike Eli. My Instagram is IFBB Pro Mike Eli. IFBB Pro Mike Eli. And if you're interested in some bodybuilding, some training, some coaching, or if you just want to get in shape, you know, just send me a message. I'll get back to you, and we'll find a way to make it happen.
Same thing here, you know. I don't coach actually. I don't train anybody. I'd like to.
I'm interrupting there. He does coach.
Well,
He's
hold
my
on, Mike,
assistant
hold
coach.
on. You know, but basically, I don't train people. I don't have time to train people. So anybody comes in to me that asks me for advice, I will send them to Big Mike. You know.
Okay.
But if you need any advice at any certain time, you know, my Instagram is sam.z.pharaoh. So it's very simple. It's very easy to find. You know, give me a holler if you need any help. If you struggle with anything, if I can help you, I'll help you. But again, if you really need to go somewhere, if you want to go with your life to the competition and stuff like that, Mike is the biggest guy over here in Cleveland area. You know, so.
And even if you don't want to bodybuild, you just want to get in shape. You know, we'll train you for a lifestyle. You know, you want to lose 50 pounds. You want to look good on the beach. Get you in shape for that too. But as far as like coaching goes, like every head coach has a good assistant coach, right? I'm the head coach, is the assistant coach. You see us at the shows, I'm coaching, he's helped me coach. So he is a coach, I'm just the head coach, he's a top assistant coach, okay? So that's my right-hand man. Every show I'm at, you see him right there with me helping me, you know. Sam, go put him through some poses before he gets on stage. Sam's over there putting him through poses. So we help each other, man. So, you know, my game is that much better as a coach because I have this man helping me.
Actually, I don't like to help him because I'm just a coach, you know, he's my brother, man, you know, so if anything that he needs, you know, I'm there for him, you know, whether coaching or anything else, you know, I mean, outside of gym too, you know, like, any time he knows, you know, that we
That goes both ways.
through, you know,
Yep.
yeah, same thing, you know, if I need anything, if I have any problem, you know, the first person I can come and talk to is Mike, you know.
Yeah.
We get know each other for too long, you know, but we got closer in the past 5 years, you know, it's really, you know, it's a great bond, you know, to have somebody. He's closer to me than my family members. You know what I'm saying?
Same here.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that is so awesome. Oh yeah, and then Big Mike, congratulations as well because the last time you was here, you was getting ready
Yeah,
for the Olympia.
Yeah.
So
That was a surreal experience. So I mean, I'll tell you, I got to get on one of the biggest bodybuilding stages in the world in Romania, and I brought it, man. I brought a good package, man. I have, we always talk about politics, so I didn't place exactly where I wanted, but I was up with some of the best in the world, and I brought what I thought was my best package up to that point, and I brought it later in life, man. So Sam, I'll tell you, I was peeled, I was shredded. I worked hard.
He was ready. He was like absolutely ready. Like he said, 4 weeks ahead of that, he was ahead of the game, and
best of the best.
Of course.
I just had in my mind, I'm not going to go on a stage in Romania against these top-notch elite bodybuilders and embarrass myself. I'm going to bring it. So that's why I said hard play to play, man. Because that prep was hard, and I pushed through. And I said I got my body fat down to just a little bit over 2% for that one, man. That's hard. We brought it. And again, that's teamwork, man. Because I could say I brought it. I can say I brought it. I'm gonna say we brought it because I had a team helping me out. I remember I had Sam pushing me through workouts. I had Sam put me through rounds of posing. I had my other partner Dayon put me through rounds of posing. I had my girlfriend Allison cooking for me, and she was putting me through rounds of posing. I had my mother cooking for me and shopping for me. So I had a team of good people helping me. So they say bodybuilding is a solo sport, but there is no way that was a solo sport for me because I wouldn't have been able to do everything I did without the good people I had around me. So shout out to Sam, shout out to Dayon, shout out to Allison, and shout out to my mom. With those 4 people helping me, it helped me to take myself to another level. They took a lot of stress out of my life that I would have had to handle so I could take this to another level, which I did. And so, my hard work is a product of their hard work helped me also.
And guess
Yes.
what? All of those 4 people, they were stressed as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, because I was an asshole.
He make our life miserable. But you know what? We did it out of love. We were there with him. Like me and Allison. We're there with him. And he wasn't. Like when you get to that level with all of that body fat is that low. You don't have no carb in your system.
You're irritable.
You're very irritable. If somebody come and tell you good
I was
morning,
irritable.
It's almost like diabetic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if somebody come and tell you good morning, it's like, what the heck are you telling me good morning for? What's good about
So
it?
yeah, me and Sam was prepping for a different
Oh
show
my
at the
God,
same
yeah.
time.
Oh my
Him and I
God.
would go at it, and we'd look at each other like, I'm sorry, Sam. Like, yeah, I'm sorry too. So we go off on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like he's prepping, I'm prepping. I'm the same thing too. My tolerance is like I'm very short, and he's very short, and we just get into it together. And I remember that one night I was like, you know what? I'm just going get a hotel room. He's like, it's on you, brother. If you wanna go, go. And then I look and I was like, didn't you do your last round? Well, I did it already. I was like, all right. So I sat down 2 minutes later. He comes in and he's like, you can walk me through a round. I mean, I'm ready for that round. And then we left. And just like we laughed it off. But
Hey, that's family. That's family.
exactly. So you know exactly what he's going through. I know what he's going through. He knows what I'm going through.
So Sam was prepping for a show, and he still flew all the way out to Romania, and that's a 13-hour flight. He flew all the way out to Romania, and he had to stay on his diet foods, had to be on top of prep, and he came there to help me, and he helped me. So I got back from Romania. He was doing a show in Pittsburgh, so he left a few days before me. So as soon as I got off that plane, I got in my car and I drove straight off a 13-hour flight to Pittsburgh to help him because he did it for me.
I honestly, I knew that, and I told him don't come. I said I'm gonna be all right. Don't come. But he landed. What he did, he just put his luggage over Allison's house, and he came, just took a shower, and just came straight. He drove straight. I was like, I called him to check on him, and he told me he left already. So in the middle of that it was more than 2 hours and a half, almost 3 hours. And I called him. I was like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I fell asleep when I was driving. I pulled over and took a nap. I was like, dude, you don't have even to do that.
I was so tired, yeah. I pulled over, took a half-hour nap on the way to Pittsburgh. I'm like, I had to take a nap.
And that's exactly, basically, that's, just we're there for each other, I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's what's up, man. So, yeah, I know you did a little few shout-outs, but hey, y'all want to, this is the time to do some shout-outs. You want to do some shout-outs, more shout-outs, whatever.
Well, I want to give a shout-out to somebody else that helps us out. We got a friend of ours, Jose Leon, that does our massage therapy, and he's a big part of our game too. And
Jose is the man,
what's his Instagram handle?
Next level.
Next level, yeah. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. So I want to give him a shout out because he was a big part in both of our preps too. Because what we're doing, we beat our bodies up. And we ain't getting any younger. And you get hurt muscles, bound up muscles, sore muscles.
And he
worked on us every week to keep us going. And he even offered to come to Romania with me. He's like, you need me to go to Romania with you? I'm like, no, brother, I got this, but I appreciate it. You know, so he's a good guy. And I've been to a lot of massage therapists and a lot of different type of treatments over the years as a professional athlete. And this guy definitely gives us 100%.
You know, he's just,
And-
you get the treatment, you go there after the muscle treater, you know, that's all.
So, NEXTLVL_BT. That's Jose. Hit him up, tell him you're a friend of Big Mike and Sam's, and he will take care of you. He's going to give you a deep tissue massage, he's going to cup you, he's going to do body tempering, he's going to scrape you, he does it all in the one session.
The whole
So,
9 hours.
so again, it's next level, NEXTLVL_BT. That's his Instagram. Hit him up, and I guarantee you won't regret it, man. Because I don't generally give shout outs to people like that, you know, for somebody that's doing somewhat. But man, he goes out of his way for us. He kept us in the game, and he keeps us in the game. And anybody I send to him, he'll rearrange his schedule. If they say that for me or Sam, he'll rearrange his schedule to get them in, gives them a discount, takes good care of them. Let me tell you, that time you're in him working, he doesn't stop the whole time. He works on you that whole time and gets you right. So I recommend anybody, if you're having issues or you're not having issues, you want to maintain good health, go see Jose, and he'll take good care of you. We already gave our shout out to John Dixon over at Grafton Barbell.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's a great guy. It's a friend of mine for about 20 years. Runs a great gym. Very honest man, straight up guy. You cannot beat that gym. Also, our other spot, Old School Iron. That's a legendary gym, man. You know, and we're glad to be a part of it. It was always a powerlifting gym. And then TJ asked me to come over and get the bodybuilders there, and we did. And now it's a bodybuilding gym also, and it's well known as a bodybuilding gym. And they just came out with an article, top 10 bodybuilding gyms in the country, and it made the list, you know.
Nice.
And they gave me a shout out there too. So
We do also there in the gym, we do posing clinic, you know, so usually we announce it on Facebook
Yeah,
or
I've seen that
Instagram.
too. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the posing clinic that runs, and Mike runs it, you know, I help with coaching it, you know, Dejan help with coaching it. So what we do is like all bodybuilders, we give them an idea about what to expect. And even some people, you know, the newbies, you know, they wanna know, learn more about the sport, you know, we get them there, you know, we show them how to, we have a lot of, IFB pros.
So what I do is I bring in other pros from here, you know, other pros from around the country, and they come in. So we usually have at least 4 or 5 top national competitors, and we have like 6 or 7 IFBB pros that come in, you know, because these guys are all my friends and they're good people. Every division, bodybuilding, classic physique, bikini, wellness, all the divisions. I have a pro and many other coaches for each division, and I have these clinics at Old School Iron. And whether you're advanced, whether you're beginner, you're gonna learn a lot, okay? And it's a great experience. You get to meet a lot of good people. You get to network, see other like-minded people that are in the industry. It's a great experience. I usually have the pros, all those pros put on a little display at first, show them what it's all about. Then we coach everybody, and it's a great experience. And we only charge $10.
Wow.
So here's what I want you to check out my bodybuilding page, okay? So my personal page is IFBB Pro Mike Eli. Now the bodybuilding page for me, my partner Dayan and Sam is Center Stage Aesthetics. That's center_stage_aesthetics. So that's center_stage_aesthetics. And you can check out what's going on in our bodybuilding world. And a lot of times I'll repost it on my personal page. But if you go on our bodybuilding page, you'll see updates to when we're having clinics, shows going on, and you'll see some of our competitors we post. And if you're interested in coaching or training or anything of that nature, you know, our information's on there. You can reach out to us. And both myself and Dan, we do training in-house and we do coaching. And like I said, Sam helps with the coaching and meal plans. If you know, even if you just want to, if you're just an everyday person that wants a meal plan to lose weight, I'll do that for you. If you want to come and train to get shape, we'll do that for you. If you want to compete, we'll get you ready for a show. If that's something in the future you want to do, whatever you want posing, we'll teach you how to pose. So we pretty much do it all. So center_stage_aesthetics. Come check us out. And we're really, you know, we're the talk of the country right now because we're doing things a little differently.
Yeah, that's awesome, because they didn't do that back in the day.
No,
at all.
no.
And the thing is,
So-
we're not in it gouging people, because there's been people do posing clinics and they'll charge $300-400 for a clinic, okay? And they don't have any pros that are helping. Now, I've networked myself, you know, Sam knows I've been in the industry a long time. Sam met a lot of people through me in the industry. I know a lot of people, and I always treated them well, okay? I always treated people well. I've helped them come up in the industry because I've been around a long time. So a lot of these professional bodybuilders, professional figure athletes, professional wellness athletes, bikini athletes, whatever the case might be, they're all my friends. I was like, hey, you want to come out and help us with this clinic and give back? And most bodybuilders are good people. They want to help, you know. So they come out. You know, we put a flyer out. They come out. They come out on their own time, and they travel a long way, you know, for me to help these people, and they love doing it. You know, so we make a good thing out of it. We have, you know, you get to meet. You know, we didn't have that in our day. You couldn't hit up some professional bodybuilders learn how to pose. You know, so we get 6 or 7 pros out there, plus some national athletes. We make a big event of it, and you learn how to pose. You meet some good people. It's a great time. Like I said, we only charge $10.
And not only professionals, also we know, like, too many times we have our guests, you know, to be like a show promoter. You know, some people own their shows. We have also judges. They come in, you know, to tell us, you know, like, this is how we pose, but this is what we need to look at, you know. So they tell us, you know, what to expect, you know, on stage, you know.
So these guys are all my friends. So I'll get an IFBB Pro judge out there, and I'll advertise it. So all these competitors come in. I'll bring the judge out there. Like, Andy, what are you looking for when they hit the stage? Because these competitors don't know. He's like, well, this is what I look for, and if you do this, I'm marking you down. If you do this, I'm marking you up. And now people that never do before, now we're learning what the judges are actually looking for. He's like, well, the first thing I look at your shape, your structure. Then I look at what kind of shape you're in. He's going the list over and over, and he's teaching that. And so I'll bring a judge, and he'll teach what to do and what not to do and what they're looking for. Because most people are guessing, like, what does the judge want? What are they looking for? And he'll break it down, how you get marked up and how you get marked down.
That's why it's important to talk to
Yeah,
the judge.
exactly.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Not only what you pose and how you pose only, but what is expected to be posing. Like, if you're a judge sitting there looking at you on the stage, you know what they want to get out of it.
You know, what type of conditioning for what division you're in, how to pose it, what's the first thing they see, what's the first thing that's going to catch their eye. You know, we get an IFBB Pro judge, you know, I'll get Olympia judges out there, Judge Olympia, and they'll tell you what they're looking for, you know, so that's huge. Or I'll get the show promoter to these big shows out there. They'll come out there and they'll promote their shows. We'll have a posing clinic for people going to their shows. So it's a really good event. So again, center_stage_aesthetics. Check out our page. Usually I'll repost on my personal page. Sam will repost on his. My partner Dan will post it on his. But it's a great event. You get to come out, you get to meet some professional bodybuilders, some professional figure competitors, wellness competitors, some top national competitors, also other competitors that from around the area you never met. Because, you know, a lot of people, they compete and they don't have nobody else that understands it. You know, their friends don't understand it, people at work don't understand it. Well, now you're put in a room with 200 people that all have the same goals and going through the same things. And you make some good friends that way, you network.
Yeah, you're right. Because bodybuilding actually, I know, especially from back in the day, it's like an underground world.
Right.
You know, it's like civilians
They don't get it.
separated
They
from,
don't get
you
it.
know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah. And it's a good thing that you're doing it too, because, like I say, after a competition, you placing second, third, fourth, or whatever, and you be like, Dad, what can I do? What can I do? A lot of them don't even go talk to a judge.
Right.
It's important to talk to the judges.
Right, right.
So what y'all doing, that's really good. So now they don't really have to talk to the judge because they already there, and
Right.
that's homework altogether.
And you know, I started this out. I used to have posing clinics for my clients. I was getting ready for shows. I'm like, okay, everybody show up on Saturday. We're going to work on posing. And then Sam and Dan said, let's open this up to the public. I'm like, okay, we can do this. We started advertising. I didn't know if it'd take off or not. Man, people started coming in. I said, well, let me get some other pros to help us, because I know, you know, so many years in the industry, I got a lot of friends. You know, and I always try to treat people good. So I hit up a few pros, like, yeah, we're glad to come out and help. You know, and a few more came. Now we do different ones. We have the same ones that come, but we bring different special guests each time. And it becomes a great event, you know. Think how much back in the day, if you would have saw, like, you just mentioned Berto Fox. Say, hey, Berto's going to come out and teach you how to pose. It'd be crazy.
Yep.
But now we do it. You know. And,
Yep.
Well, let's put it on this way, you know, like when we start, you know, we started big. And how many people on average, Mike, you know, we have?
we get a big crowd, man.
I seen that. I seen it on social media. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
if you look at the pictures, you know, man, the
Yep.
pictures speak on itself.
That's a
you know,
lot
so
of people.
That is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now a lot of people are trying to copy and are trying to do the same thing. I'm good. I'm glad. I don't have no problem with somebody else trying to help other people. You know, but they're not getting the crowds we get. But anybody else wants to do it, it's like we don't own posing clinics, okay?
Right,
So
right.
if anybody else doing posing, they ask me to come on and help, I'll help them. You know, because it's not about competition with that. You know, it's just all about networking, helping each other, man. We can all help each other. You know, I ain't looking to steal anybody's clients. I ain't looking to step on anybody's toes. If anybody needs my help, I'll help them. You know, they want me. You know, I need their help. They can help me. We can all work hand in hand. You know, so it all works out good. And I didn't realize how the word got out about these clinics till I got some calls from California. They're like, man, you guys are the talk of what you're doing there, man. Ain't nobody doing that. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah.
So you got any shout outs?
Yeah, I wanna give shout outs to all of my family, and I'm not gonna break it down to names or persons, because I don't have friends, I have family. I don't believe in friends, I believe in family. So whether you're family or not, So I'm gonna give a shout out for all of my family that been supporting me all over all of my journey. I have people calling me from Egypt, people calling me from Germany, people calling me from California, from New York, all of the people that related to me, they give me a lot of support before my shows,
Here's one thing I want to say. I remember when I was in high school, and my guidance counselor called me into his office. He said, Mike, what are you going to do with your life? So you don't think you're going to be a pro bodybuilder? Nobody can be a pro bodybuilder. You're always reading these muscle magazines. That's something that's like impossible. People want to do it, they can't do it. Then I ran into my guidance counselor about 3 years ago. He's like, so what are you doing with yourself? I'm like, I'm a pro bodybuilder. My point behind that is, don't let nobody tell you what you can or cannot do. Don't let nobody, that's their limitations, not yours. That's their limitations.
And then why would he even say something like that anyway?
So if you got a dream, you go after that dream. We got one life, and this life ain't that long. This life is not that long. If you got a dream, go after that dream and make it real. And if you don't achieve that dream, at least you went after it. But if you don't try, there's no chance of you ever achieving that dream.
Right.
So you got a dream, make it real in your mind. Think about it, manifest it. Work hard, persevere. You get knocked down, get back up and keep moving forward. Make your dream a reality and live it, because it can happen.
Just one thing I want to add to that, Mike, dream within your limits. So don't dream to be the president of the United States, just dream within your limits, Anything can happen, yes. And what I do is I put my goal, I put my dream, and I start working in certain steps. And if life can bring in something different, you gotta, weave around it, you gotta move around it, you gotta, until you find your way to your final destination. But make it reasonable, then you're gonna achieve it.
Everything impossible in life that that's been accomplished. Throughout the years, they say, oh, this is impossible. Somebody accomplished it. This is impossible. Somebody accomplished it, So, like I said, limitations. If somebody's telling you can't do something, that's their limitations. They're trying to push their limitations on you. Okay.
But that's why I said I was doing everything they said you couldn't do.
Right.
It worked for me.
Right. Exactly.
So.
Yep.
Exactly.
Wow. That's crazy though, man. But there's always somebody out here that's like that. Like you say, they limitation. Not yours.
Right.
So that's like they say. That little thing I would say, the grass is greener on the other side. When do you know the grass is greener on the other side? And even in the wintertime, you see the leaves fall off the trees and everything, but grass always stay green. You remove that snow, that grass is gonna stay green. It ain't gonna die, it stay green. Now you dig it up, there's gonna be dirt under there.
Right,
so you mean to tell me it's greener on the other side?
Yeah, right. It's dirt on the other side.
It's always green.
Right. So I'm like, that's your philosophy, not mine.
Right.
So, man, it's, like I say, be a leader. You know what I mean?
Be a leader, not a follower.
Yeah.
Like I said, go after what you want and go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait for somebody to give it to you, and don't let somebody else's dreams. Don't let somebody else take your dreams away because it's not their dream or they can't do it. Because it's amazing, that what we can do. Our limitations are our mind. Our minds are limitations. Because the body can do amazing things. The only thing that holds us back is our mind. If you can control your mind, and you can control your mind and be strong-willed, you can accomplish anything. You can accomplish things that seem impossible. That's just like when you get a mother a car falls on the kid and the mother lifted the car off because the mind let that go, and something was so important to her, she made it happen. So we control our mind, the heart will follow, nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. So, what you guys got coming up? Like any other shows coming up soon?
Well, that's it all. We just finished our last show for the season a couple weeks ago, so now it's off season. So shows will be coming up here in a couple months. It's gonna kick off. We're gonna go to the Arnold Classic. None of us are competing it. We're just gonna go there, have a good time. And
March.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Columbus in March. See some of my friends from around the country. We'll go there, hang out, have some fun. Then we'll pick the shows up from there. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Dave Lieberman we just talked about. So his show is April 20th in Avon. That's a great show. I'll be taking a lot of my competitors there. Sam will be there with me helping. So shout out to Dave Lieberman and Todd Pember, who run the Natural Northern Ohio and the Natural USA. Yes, I've known Dave for 35 years. Dave's a great guy. Runs one of the best shows around. He just had knee surgery. He's recovering, so we definitely wish Dave a speedy recovery. And a shout out to him and his show. He runs a great show. Takes really good care of the competitors, and he lives and breathes bodybuilding for the last 40 years. So shout out to Dave Lieberman. So if you're looking for a show to do that's local, his show will be April 20th in Avon. Or if you just want to go watch, it's a great show. It's a great grand show.
Just come get the experience, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just watch it and just get the experience. See how the competitors do and stuff like that.
I remember all the quarter turn to your right. Quarter
That's
turn.
it.
Turn to the right.
That's it.
Give me that side chest pose. Give me your best double bicep. You know.
We went last year. We have about 20.
At 22 in that
22
show.
in the show. 22 competitors.
Right.
And we collected a lot of trophies in that.
Oh, I
show.
can tell you how many. Yeah.
We start with the best coaches award.
We won the best coaches award the last 4 shows.
Wow.
So last 4 shows, we got the best coaches award, got a big trophy, because we bring a lot of competitors winning. So we're gonna try to get it a 5th time. We'll see what happens, So there's a lot of good coaches out there. So shout out to them, So we're not in competition with them. We're just bringing our people in best we can, and but there's a lot of other good coaches out there too. So I'm not saying we're the only good coach, but we're the best coach.
Right. Always the best,
Absolutely.
The best of the best.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And like I say, shout out to you guys, man. And I'm glad that you guys are killing it out there.
Yes. You know what? It's a great thing when you can do something you love every day.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people wake up every day, they dread going to work and they dread their lives. I wake up blessed, man. I do something I love day in and day out. I'm in the gym, I'm helping change people's lives, whether it be in the gym, whether it be on the stage, whether it be just text them a meal plan, a little motivation. I've had so many people tell me, you changed my life. And that's a great thing. You're doing something you're passionate about. It's something you love, and you change lives with it. And that's truly a blessing. I'm blessed to be where I'm at in my life, to accomplish everything I have, to have the people around me, the friends and family I have, and all the glory goes to God, because not one of these things can be done without Him. So all the glory goes to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who got me to this level and put me in a position not only to live my dreams, but help other people live theirs.
Yeah.
So I wanna say something, Salman. You asked me the when I started bodybuilding, but you didn't ask me the why I started bodybuilding. So there is the when and there is the why. When I was in my 30s, after I came here, I always when I was in my teens and high school, that was my dream to become a bodybuilder.
Okay.
But I drifted off because I have to go medical school and too much stress, and stuff like that. So I came here to the States. I stayed here for about 10 years. I never went to see overseas, and then I went there one time, and I met with one of my friends, and we're sitting down, and he's like, "Oh, Sam, look at this," So he showed me the open, his chest is open, and he was telling me that he had 2 open heart surgeries and stuff like that. I was like in early 30s, I was like, I just had to, stop for a second, and I was like, why am I? What I'm gonna be in about 10, 15 years from now? I need to do something for myself. I need to do something for my life. And this is when I decided to. The minute I came off the plane, I came here. I started joining the gym. This is when I see Big Mike, and this is what get me to change. Why did I want to do this? Because I said I want to go to my to live until I get to my 40s, just healthy.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it to be a bodybuilder. I was just trying to go to the gym. I was trying to, solicit any kind of advice, like how to eat, how to work out, just doing it all on my own. And I wasn't in a mentality like, I want to be a bodybuilder now because I have a lot of other responsibility. I have, small kids are growing. I have loans. I have this and that. And I have business to achieve. So I move it forward a little bit, and then when I was ready, I told Mike, let's do it, But then everything is like, what? I'm in my 40s now. I'm healthy. I look better. I'm in the best, body shapes in the 10%, like the top 10%, in my age group. I'm going older a little bit, and I wanna go to my 50s to become in the best shape that I ever was, even in my 20s. So when you do something like that, you're not only preserving your body, it's actually, you feel much better. And every day you wake up in the morning, you know that, the workout I did yesterday, yes, it was tiring. Yes, I was dragging, and Mike was dragging. I was pushing him. He was pushing me. But to wake up in the morning and I feel better. I feel like, we're blessed, that we don't have any problems or something like that.
And the thing is, like, life doesn't ever stop. Life doesn't ever get easy. You can't wait for life to get easy to start.
Right.
Like, through this journey, like Sam's had a lot of stress through this journey. He knows stresses I've had, we push each other through. And like, he's going through a hard time. I'm like, Sam, let's keep moving forward with this. Because that's not gonna go away. Just because you still doing this, that's not gonna go away. But this can help us handle this. We go to the gym, we bang that workout, because that stress is still there. That problem is still there. You miss your workout, that problem's still there, okay? You go to the gym, you get that workout in, you bang that workout, you walk away feeling better, like, okay, I can handle this problem now. It kind of sets your mind straight to handle it.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, that's right. So we're going through some stuff, where I'm going through it, he's going through it. There's been times where I was going through some stuff, and Sam's like, come on, let's get this workout in. And he focused me, I get that workout, and you know what? I handle that stuff then. He's going through some stuff, some stuff, so I'm like, okay, come on, let's get this leg workout in. Get that leg workout in, he handles his stuff. So life is gonna happen no matter what. You can't wait for life not to happen. Life happens, stress happens,
Right.
and it's not fair. Anybody that wants life to be fair,
It's not gonna be.
it's not fair. It's not gonna be fair, okay? Some of us get it worse than others, but life's not fair.
Just toughen up and move on, and just
But
put your
you
plans
still
together.
got to put your work in. You still got to have your goals. You still got to work towards them. And so no matter what happens, you don't let life take you away from what you're doing. It's just the opposite. What you're doing is going to help you handle life.
Right. Wow, man. That's deep though.
You didn't think you were going to get some words of wisdom today, did you?
Yeah. I mean, but that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Like I say, a lot of listeners, they be listening in, but a lot of people want to work out. Some of them don't even know how to work out. Some
Right.
people don't even, and then a lot of people think they gotta have somebody to work out with them. And it helps.
It does.
It helps, but
I worked out for 20 years by myself.
Yeah, so you still can do it, but it helps us. Like when I started working out, and over the years we had our training partners and
Right.
everybody with us.
Right.
And some of them still compete to this day.
Yeah.
I was the youngest of the group.
Right.
But they done all the shows and.
What do you think, Sam? Should we get Solomon on stage?
I
think we need to get Solomon on stage.
Why not?
What do you think?
Hey,
I was gonna add something. I was gonna add something.
that was back in the day.
Oh no, we can bring it
There's
back,
nothing that's
brother.
called back in the day, bro. That's nothing that's called back in the day. You still can get it. Yes.
We'll talk to him. We'll get him doing it.
So what I want to add something though, like since I know Mike, a lot of people they say, oh look at this guy, he's just full of it, he's just walking around like this and that. When you really start knowing him, I've seen and I've witnessed myself, how many times that he paid for competitors that they don't have the money to go to a show. He paid for their room, he paid for their show, he paid for everything, he goes sometimes, he takes time of his training time, and training his, that's what the money making for him, training people, he just take off just to go all the way. We just drove all the way to Chicago with one of our clients, I took off and he took off 2 days,
To
of
be
work,
there for his first show.
just to be with somebody in his first show.
That's real good.
So it's not only just one of those coaches or one of those personal trainers, just sitting there, trying to collect money and trying to suck people blood, but he does it because he believes in it, he believes that's gonna change somebody's life, and dude, I know that last year, should I say that or not about the guy that he's a homeless guy, he didn't even know what to do or what not to do, Mike was just walking him through it and we got him on stage, as well.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah, we have one competitor who's homeless, and the way we did his diet, he would call me up and whatever he can get from the food shelter that day, that's what we did his diet on. And he got on stage and he won.
Wow.
And he won, yeah.
So how did he work? I mean, he worked out at a gym or he worked out on the street. How did he?
I think there was like a local rec center that he got to work out for free, and then he'd go to the food shelter and whatever food they got, that's how we worked his diet, and we worked things out. and we got him on stage and he won. You know, and
So I learned a lot from this guy, you know, and just
So,
you know, helping people.
That's a blessing right
You know, helping people. This is what it is, you know. Just helping people, you know. It's not only just making the money because money comes and goes.
Well, you know what, gentlemen? I grew up on the streets of Collinwood, you know, and bodybuilding saved my life. And there was the owner of the gym back then, Tony Pistone from Miller's Gym back in Cleveland, Ohio. You know, he kind of took like a father figure to me, got me off the streets, got me working out, took me to shows, and I see how it changed my life. And everybody else I grew up with, they ended up in prison or dead, and you know, and it changed my life. And I'm like, if God can do this for me and help change my life, I want to do that to help other people too.
Right.
You know,
right.
and you know, if you're doing something for the money, you know, you're in the wrong thing. You know, I tell people that want to be a trainer or coach, I'm like, if you're doing it to make money, you're in the wrong profession. But if you're doing it because you're passionate about this, and you love people and you want to help them, then the money will come. Then the money will come because you're doing it for the right reason. If you're doing it for the wrong reason, it doesn't come.
I used to train people, you know, years ago, but I done got so busy, man. I'm like, I couldn't even do that if I wanted to right now.
Right.
You know? So I wear a lot of hats.
I know you do, brother. I know you do.
So, you know, but like I say, and I'm trying to get back to where, I know I'm not going to get back where I was, but I'm trying to get back, you know.
We can get you there.
You know.
We can definitely get you there.
We just shift gears, man. We just gotta shift gears. That's all.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're still bigger than 99% of the people, brother. You know.
And I'm in my 50s.
Yeah. So.
You know.
Yep.
So, but look, as you get older, and just like you were saying, when you go to the hospital, they're gonna tell you to start working out anymore. You go get your checkups, getting older. Like I said, you're getting older, and you're like, man, something going on, blah blah blah. I don't feel right. He go and really ain't too much wrong with you.
Right.
But he gonna tell you, start working out, start
Right.
exercising. So you already doing it.
Right.
You know?
Every age, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
If you don't do something, you fall apart.
We have a different example over here. You know, it's the other way around. You know, when you are admitted at the hospital and get your ass out of the hospital, going to the gym.
Right.
To do whatever, you know what I'm
We can
saying?
talk about that.
So yeah, it is. You know, he did it, I did it. You know, the next day, you know, just we were in the hospital. You know, I had double pneumonia. I was working through my workout. You know, and I was admitted. The next day, the doctor's like, you need to have a week off. I called Mike. I was like, hey, Mike, I just come to the gym. We'll take care of it. I was like, all right. You know, and he was admitted to the hospital too last year, you know, and he had a show, like, what was that, a couple months before the show?
I was 3 weeks for my show.
Yeah, 3 weeks before the show.
And I had a ulcer in my esophagus, which caused my blood levels to drop down to a 5.
I think I seen that.
Yeah, my hemoglobin was 5.
Yeah.
So I finally went to the ER. These guys told me go to the emergency room, because I was in bad shape. I thought it was just because I was prepping for a show. I'm like, no, I'm just tired because I'm prepping for a show. And I get to the ER, they check me out. They go, you're about an hour away from dying. They go, your hemoglobin's 5. They go, you shouldn't even be able to talk. You should be passed out.
That was from the dieting?
No. I had a ulcer in my esophagus. I didn't know it, so I had internal bleeding. And I thought I was tired from dieting, but I was so tired because I had internal bleeding.
Did they tell you how that maybe happened? Like ripped a muscle or something? Like
No,
It's an
acid
ulcer in your
reflux.
stomach, you know.
You get acid reflux, that can happen.
Too much acid in the stomach.
So I had internal bleeding, and I didn't realize that my hemoglobin was down to 5. And normal hemoglobin is about 15. You know, so they said they don't even know how I walked in there. You know, so obviously they went in there and they clamped it up, and then they gave me blood and everything I needed to do to get back normal. And I'm telling Sam, I got to get out of here. I'm training for the world championship.
He's like, Sam,
They're like, sir, you almost died.
She's like, Sam, you need to go into the
They're like,
shit
you ain't going nowhere. You're staying in this hospital. You're about an hour away from dying. I go, yeah, but I'm alive. You guys took care of me. Let me out. I gotta go. They're like, what are you talking about? You just had surgery. Your hemoglobin was 5. I go, but it's good now. Let me out. I got to train for world championships. I'm like, Sam, talk to them, negotiate them.
He's like, negotiate for me. Sometimes I was like, you know, we're not negotiating nothing, you know.
So I have Sam sneaking me in protein shakes, you know, because they're telling me not to eat anything. And then the moment I got out the hospital, I got out on a Sunday. I still have a wristband on. I went straight to the gym. So I'm not recommending that.
Right.
But that's just showing you the determination we have.
That's exactly that. You know, if you have a passion for something, you know, you have the discipline, you know, it doesn't matter as long as you're able to walk out of the bed.
But
to roll out of the
helps.
bed.
It helps.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
because if you wasn't a person that worked out strong, you know, everything.
Oh, if I didn't work out, they said I'd be dead.
Yeah.
That's what saved me.
Yeah.
You know, that's what saved me. They said, you know, the surgeon told me, he said, you know what? He said, I've been in this ER for 25 years. He said, 3 times people have come here with a hemoglobin of 5. All 3 times they bled out and died. They go, you're the only one that lived, and we have no idea how you walked in here with a hemoglobin of 5. So obviously, like I said, I'm gonna say there was divine intervention, you know, because it wasn't my time, and God seen to that. But also, it's like I said, it's you know, working out gave me the strength to push through that, where anybody else wouldn't have the strength to walk himself in that ER.
If he waited a couple more days, you know, he would have been done. You know.
Wow.
You should seen him at the gym at that time. You know, he's like pale as ghost. You know, man, and he's just like, you know, his blood, his face is like white, and working out, and he doesn't have, you know, no energy. And I was like, Mike, you need to go.
Yeah, I'm trying to push through, and then it's like in between sets, I'm like this, fall asleep, and they're like, man, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'll be okay. And finally, I went, they're like, no, you're not okay.
I'm glad you're still here.
I am too, brother. I am too.
Yeah.
Like I said, God is good.
Yep. Well, speaking of that, man, I'm glad you guys it's that time. I'm glad you guys, you know, came down. I appreciate you guys.
We'd love to come back again, brother.
Yeah, you know, you're more than welcome, man. Anytime.
Well, next time, you know, let's talk about something different. You know, forget about bodybuilding.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about sleep apnea. You know, like
No, we ain't talking about sleep
No,
apnea.
we have to. We have to educate people about some sleep apnea.
yeah.
You know.
You know what? They can Google it. We're gonna talk about bodybuilding.
Well, how about this? We talk about sleep apnea and bodybuilding.
Okay, we'll give you about 5 minutes on the sleep apnea because people ain't gonna listen to an hour of sleep apnea, Sam.
I'm an initiator, man. You know, I can do more than that. You know.
All right, yeah, that'll work, man. You know, but besides, we got anything?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that, you know, a family member or a friend who's been affected by violence, now that violence can affect your life in all types of ways, the way you eat, sleep, cause you to lose focus, feel angry, afraid, or even use drugs or drinking as a way to escape. But we're here to tell you that violence doesn't have to keep hurting, and you can change your life starting now with help from the Trauma Recovery Center. We want you to take control of your life, because today can be the day. The Trauma Recovery Center offers real help for real needs in real time. They offer services for food, clothes, safety, emotional support, and a whole lot more. So do not let violence control you. You can break free, and TRC can help. Give them a call at 216-644-5487. They can give you the tools to rebuild your life and your health. They're free, they're 24/7 and confidential. So if you want out and don't know where to start, call the Trauma Recovery Center. The Trauma Recovery Center will help you take back your life after violence started today. Call today and get the help you need today. 216-644-5487. The Trauma Recovery Center of Northeast Ohio, also affiliated with the Center for Families and Children. And finally, I just want to welcome one of our newest sponsors to Static Radio, the Dedicated Senior Medical Center. So listen, they spend more time with you as a member of their family. We spend more time listening to your needs. You will always have someone on your side who knows your medical history and provides an individual care plan. For the convenience, their centers offer telehealth to see and talk to your doctor from home or wherever you're at, medication services, on-site testing and screening, and door-to-doctor, transportation, which is free. And then they have activities, whether you're at the medical center, and one of their activities will be next Wednesday, December the 20th. Ron Chiselton, Mr. In Pursuit of, Mr. Booty Builder will be in the house for a quick hour just to, help, anybody with nutritional needs and a few quick exercises. So make sure you guys stay tuned and tune in, or just stop on by. So there's 3 locations in Cleveland. They're all over Ohio, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus. But here in Cleveland, the addresses are as follows: in Maple Heights, 5264 Lee Road. That's at the corner of Lee and Libby. Collinwood, 15105 St. Clair Avenue. That's at the corner of 152nd and St. Clair. And then the West Park location, 13719 Lorraine Avenue, and that's over in the shopping center by the corner of West 140th and Lorraine, you guys. So if you want to look them up and check them out, www.dedicated.care, and the number is 216-294-4440. Listen, to go check them out. It's free, and they provide so much more than medical. So please make sure you go check them out. When I tell you, it is worth it. We're talking about prevention. We're talking about you walking in with 20 medications, and by the end of the year, you only taking 6. Look, they're trying to help you live your longest, best life as possible. So go check out the Dedicated Senior Medical Centers. And finally, we just wanted to thank you for tuning in to the Silent Paulk Radio Show here on the station, where we don't bring no static, but we sure don't bring the noise. Check us out on social media, where we absolutely love to hear from you, on Facebook.com/No Static Radio LLC, on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, now known as X at NoStatic_Radio, Instagram at @TheReal_NoStatic Radio, and on YouTube at NoStatic Radio, and our newest platform, Discover.tv. For replays, check us out on Mixler or Mixcloud.com. Just type in No Static Radio in the toolbar, all one word. And for continuous streaming uninterrupted, that means no refreshing the page. Just sit back, relax, and let it do its own thing at TuneIn.com, LiveOnlineRadio.net, or MediaQ for an uninterrupted listening experience, and for all things No Static Radio, including up-and-coming events, merchandise, and an in-depth look at all our great shows here. Please check out our website at www.nostaticradio.net. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and you know what it is. We got more music for your listening pleasure here on your voice of the revolution, NoStaticRadio.net, powered by Google, partner with Colors, sponsored by Lamont Avenue Wines, the Cleveland Rugby League, designed me exclusively in the dedicated senior medical centers of Ohio. You guys have a great evening, and stay warm, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning with coffee and Black Anthony. Until then, peace.
Man, she's good at that. She's good at that.
Thank
She
you.
nailed it.
Thank you.
That's still running.
I got you.
What up, LA? What it do? LA to Cleveland, baby.
Picture time.
All right.